guys, it's Stephanie, and today I wanted to do a video about books that have winter settings because I think it's really fun when you're reading a book and the weather in that book matches the weather that you're experiencing. I think especially when it's snowing outside, you kind of want someone to be experiencing the same thing you're experiencing in your fiction. So I have a few books that have snowy winter settings. There are some mysteries in here, there is some horror in here, and two books that I haven't read yet but are on my TBR that have wintry settings. So the first book I want to mention is Kate Raculia's Bellwether Rhapsody. This is kind of a young adult / adult novel, but this is a mystery that follows a high school band that is going to upstate New York for a competition. They get snowed in this hotel where a very infamous murder happened, and so everyone is worried that this hotel is haunted, and one of the most promising students at this band competition goes missing. I thought this was really fun, had a really good setting, and it really balanced that line of lightheartedness with a little bit of darkness and a little bit of comedy. I definitely think this is a book that appeals to a wide range of ages. Like I said, it appeals to young adult and adult readers alike. So that was The Bellwether Rhapsody by Kate Raculia. And of course, if we're talking about getting snowed in at creepy hotels, you know what we gotta talk about. We do have to talk about The Shining by Stephen King. This is still, I think, like in my top 3 Stephen King books that I've read so far. Like, take that with a grain of salt because I have not read a lot by him. But this, I remember just really being a standout. It's very different from the movie, but I think in its own way it has its merits. And I still watch the movie and enjoy it even though they're very different. So of course, I had to mention The Shining by Stephen King. If you want like a cozy, loving story, I am going to mention Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. Now, this book doesn't just take place in winter, it kind of spans many years and many seasons. I'm recommending it for this video because it has such a strong winter opening. You know, Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents, grumbled Joe. And so because of that first line, this is a book that I always equate with winter and being by the fire and the heartwarming relationships with all the March sisters and Marmee and all of the cozy feelings. I definitely recommend picking up Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. And for horror, I am going to mention 2 of my favorites. I am mentioning John Adita Lindquist's Let the Right One In, which takes place in Sweden in the 80s. We follow a bullied boy named Oscar, and he befriends a girl in his apartment complex named Ellie, who is kind of a loner, you know, only comes out at night, so there may be something a little not human about her. So you guys know, I love this story. I think this is one of my favorite horror novels. The snowy Swedish setting, wow, try saying that 3 times fast. The snowy Swedish setting plays a big part. It just obviously has that atmosphere. There's a lot of scenes that benefit from just the winter aesthetic in the book. But anyway, that is Let the Right One In by John Adita Lindquist. The next book I'm going to mention is Nosferatu by Joe Hill. This is one that gets mentioned a lot in these recommendation lists because this book kind of has a Christmas element going on. You have a bad guy, Charlie Manx, who is kidnapping kids and taking them away to Christmas land. And you have main character Vic McQueen. She was the only kid who has ever escaped from Charlie Manx. Now, flash forward, her son has just been kidnapped by Charlie Manx. So she has to get back out there and confront him. This book is so good. One of my favorites. This book is so fun, fast-paced, and atmospheric. And if you want Christmas songs to kind of give you the creeps a little bit, I definitely suggest picking up Nosferatu by Joe Hill. And the last book I want to recommend that I have read is called Last Night at the Lobster by Stuart Onan. This is a novella. It's a little bit of a slice of life story in Connecticut, and it's basically following the employees at this Red Lobster. They're all working their last shift before the restaurant closes down, and there's a huge snowstorm going on. And it really is just a snapshot into these people's lives of them just like trying to get this night to run smoothly. And if you have ever worked in food service, if you've ever worked at a restaurant as a hostess or as a waiter or as a line cook, you will relate to the story so much. It's just about all these things going on and the different relationship dynamics between the staff and just how everything is handled, you know, all the while this like raging snowstorm is going on outside, and they are just like trying their best. But like I said, you also get a look into their lives and everything that's going on and the things that they are going through, while at the same time just trying to do their job for one night. And then 2 books with wintry settings that I want to read sometime this winter, probably not December. I'm thinking January, February. The first one is Road Ends by Mary Lawson. This is an author I've been wanting to pick up for a while. I know she's a Canadian author. And I was drawn to this because this is a little bit of a family drama, and one of those family dramas that I like, with adult siblings and winter settings in Canada. So this is one that just 100% seems like it'll be up my alley. So I am looking forward to reading this one. And the next book I want to read, and I kind of can't believe I haven't read it yet, is Stephen King's Misery. So remember when I said about The Shining, take that with a grain of salt, because there's a lot of Stephen King classics that I just haven't read yet. So I've really heard nothing but good things about it, and this is one of Stephen King's stories that I have just been like dying to get to since I bought this book. So I am hoping sometime before winter is over to get to read this Stephen King classic. Anyway, guys, those are my recommendations for books with winter settings. Let me know what book you enjoy that has a winter setting, or if you have any opinions on the books that I picked. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye!